Racing at the quarter pole, the real story's made a big run on the inside. Oh, going down with Snowcap, we've had a spill.
May 7th, 2011 was a dangerous day on racetracks across the United States.
Final 16th, Bella Swan losing the rider. There was clear indicator, but Bella Swan was charging hard.
It was the most accident-plagued day the sport had seen in 3 years. All told, there were 23 accidents.
Troubles with straight roll.
And taking a bad stride there was Battle of Hastings, immediately pulled up.
From Belmont Park in New York to Hollywood Park in Los Angeles, and 2 breakdowns at Churchill Downs, one in the most celebrated race of the year, the Kentucky Derby.
For John Velasquez, and he's going clear by 2 lengths and running to the line. Animal Kingdom wins the Derby.
Crossing the finish line in 15th place was Arch, with a fractured front leg.
A look at Arch, who's been pulled up.
His promising racing career was over. But days like these should not be happening. 4 years ago, 8 Bells finished second at the Derby and then broke 2 ankles. She was euthanized on the track.
What is going on here?
Congress held hearings.
What is happening to the sport of kings?
The racing industry promised to make its sport safer, both for horses and riders. An investigation by the New York Times shows that conditions have not improved. If anything, they've gotten worse.
You see everywhere horses broken down. Cheap train, cheap horse, cheap,
Unfortunately, we still have owners and trainers that they are in this business just for money and not for love.
Before, it seemed like to me that the people wanted to breed their horses that would last longer. Now they want the best horse for a short time.
So I'm just checking down the neck and, feeling for any unusual heat, pain, or swelling.
Margaret Ollinger is a staff veterinarian at Finger Lakes Casino and Racetrack.
This horse is named the Wily Vet. Now, where would they ever come up with that name?
By her count, 63 horses died at this racetrack in 2011, more than double the fatalities 5 years before.
The quality of animal deteriorated over the years as a result of all the drug use.
The uptick in deaths is not unique to the Finger Lakes track.
I think racing fatalities are the Achilles heel of horse racing.
In March, HBO canceled its new show, Luck, after a 3rd horse died during production. But the real racing statistics in California are far worse.
During that same period of time, there were 613 other horses at California racetracks that died. That's very, very difficult to justify.
Why do racehorses break down at such high rates? Many point to a growing reliance on drugs. Some trainers experiment with illegal concoctions, cancer drugs, Viagra, and even cobra venom.
We think that the rules and penalties in racing still fall far short of the strictness that's required to deter some of the problems we see.
Legal drugs may be even riskier. If a horse is pumped full of pain medication, the track vet may not be able to diagnose an injury before it races. And a horse running through a masked injury can lead to catastrophic consequences.
We need to get away from medicating horses for pain and allowing them to run with a rider on their back and a stick in his hand. That it just doesn't smell right.
But racing has become a numbers game like never before. Some trainers will do whatever it takes to get their least expensive horses on the track as often as possible. At casino racetracks, also called racinos, purse money can be 3 times the value of the horse.
Casinos have done nothing other than infuse money. Many of them don't really care that much about racing.
Horse racing is a multi-billion-dollar industry. 365 days a year, thoroughbreds compete in the grandeur of the Kentucky bluegrass and in bull rings behind casinos. And all too often, the horses are run right into the ground.
There will be a steward's inquiry. The stewards have called for an inquiry into the running of the 8th race. Hold all tickets. Hold all tickets here.